It's your daily presidential address. We're going to take apart the Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings game. It is plus 5.5 for Atlanta. Total here of 45.5. And this game is in Minnesota. So before we get into that, a real quick mention. It is $5 customer appreciation day at Wager Talk. $5 for any play from a handicapper of your choice. I have got a 5% college football total. It is my first college football total 5% play of the entire season. I am 69% in college football totals on the year. So please head over to Wager Talk and grab that. And if you're a first-time buyer, you've never purchased from us before, this is the day to do it. It's only $5. See what my play is. Read my analysis. Let's win together, and hopefully you'll become a long-term client of Wager Talks. Okay, so Atlanta, Minnesota. What to make of this Falcons team? Not only have they lost 3 straight games, but they are playing horrible. Cousins just threw 4 interceptions against the Chargers, and they put up 13 points. The week before that, Cousins put up 173 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns, and they scored 3 points. Kirk Cousins has not thrown a touchdown in 3 straight games. He has, however, thrown 6 interceptions. So what is going on in Falcons land? They had this division wrapped up early. Now they're tied with Tampa Bay, and although they own the tiebreaker, they still got to start winning some football games. And as for this Minnesota team, good teams find ways to win games even when they don't play their best. And that's exactly what they did against Arizona last week. They did not play well, yet they won that football game. Minnesota has won 5 straight. And honestly, they have no room to lose football games. If they want to hunt down the Detroit Lions and not only win the division, but likely get home field advantage for the entire playoffs, they can't lose. So what do we do in this game? What do we do in a game where Kirk Cousins is returning to Minnesota? Well, we're going to take everything I just said and we're going to throw it into the garbage. We're going with the Falcons here at plus 5. First off, this could just be a really bad 3-game stretch for Atlanta, and we see this every year. San Fran made the Super Bowl last year. They had a 3-game awful stretch. Now, I'm not implying that Atlanta is San Fran, and I'm not suggesting that this is, a really good team who had a bad 3 games. But maybe they're a really good team who had a bad 3 games. I mean, they were playing lights-out football before this 3-game stretch. But even if they're a mediocre team who lost 3 games in a row, Kirk Cousins is coming back to Minnesota. And if that does not get this Atlanta team up, nothing is going to get them up. This is a huge motivating factor and a huge component to the handicap. Not only that, but they're getting 5 points. 5 points is a lot of points, guys. Minnesota is not destroying football teams right now. Minnesota is finding their offense to be slightly inconsistent of late. Minnesota is sort of reminding me of KC a bit, where they're winning games, but they're winning them with smoke and mirrors. They're playing bad opponents who are struggling. I think Minnesota is ripe for a huge letdown. I think Minnesota is set up for a loss on Sunday. The marketplace is undervaluing this Atlanta team. They are not giving them the respect that they deserve because they played 3 horrible games in a row. This Atlanta team is better than what they've shown. Not only that, but 0-6 touchdown to interception ratio by Kirk Cousins sounds like he's saving all his touchdowns for this game. I think Kirk is going to be lights out this game. Life always comes back to the means. If you flip a coin 50 times in a row and it lands on heads all 50 times, the next 50 is going to be tails. Okay, that's not technically true. But if you then roll it 1,000 times, it's going to end up being 50-50. In other words, Atlanta is not nearly as bad as they look. Minnesota is not nearly as good as they've looked. everything works itself out. I think Atlanta can not only cover 5, but I think they can win this game outright. Take Atlanta plus the 5 or 5.5 against Minnesota, and let's all